Hi guys, I know it's been a while. I've actually graduated medical school now, and I'm just coming to the end of my first year of working as a junior doctor, my foundation year one, which brings me to why I sort of wanted to do this video. I thought I would share some tips on what I would have found useful just before starting my first year working as a doctor. You've just graduated medical school, you've got all this knowledge that you want to just go into the hospitals and use and be of service to those you're about to treat and those you're about to come in contact with. This will be specifically for those who are starting foundation year one in the United Kingdom, but it might be useful for anybody starting their first job working as a doctor. So tip number one, ask for help. Everybody knows that you're starting off as a fresh new doctor. It might be that you've never worked in that hospital before, or even if you have, it's different being a doctor than it is a medical student. There are loads of people around you who will be willing to help out as long as you ask. Some people will offer, but it won't always be offered, so you've got to be willing to ask for it as well. The nurses are amazing, physiotherapists, everybody that your senior doctors, the consultants, they are all there to support you and to help you to use all this knowledge that you've learnt for the good of your patients. And also ask for help from your fellow foundation year one doctors. You are there to support each other as well. So don't be afraid at all to ask for help. It's not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of a good doctor, knowing your limitations and knowing when you need to call in assistance. Number two, get organised. I know you would have got sent lots of information about induction, about HR, about occupational health, but it really does help to get organised. In your induction, you will probably get lots of information about e-portfolio, about e-learning that you've got to do. Do try to stay on top of it. Also, just in terms of your day-to-day work, just having the things that helped me was having the BNF app, Lifesaver. MedCalc is another good one. So also, it's not for everyone, but getting a clipboard really was helpful, especially on calls. You can store lots of little, I don't know if you can see, you can store lots of little goodies in there, snacks for when you've not been able to get to lunch as quickly as you would have hoped. Pen torch, you know, lots of pens because you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them so much. And just whatever little like handy guides. What have I got in here? I've got this little free book that I was given by Wesleyan. I've got sepsis management, like quick tools such as like potassium replacement, magnesium replacement, things like that. It is really useful. It's not for everyone, but it can be helpful. But find what works for you. Find a way to get organised to help you through those nights, especially when you're the FY1 doctor covering like 3 wards or even more, the whole hospital, which can happen in some places. It really does help to be organised. Number 3, it's a personal favourite of mine. Everybody is different, but exception report. So exception reporting is something that came about from the new junior doctor contract. So when there are different circumstances that you can use it, one of them is, let's say you're meant to finish at 5 but you end up staying till like 7 because there are urgent jobs that have to be completed. There you put it in, you put the reasons why. Every department will have their way of doing it. And for me, some places I've worked, they wanted you to discuss it with the consultant first. Other places are quite different, but do exception report because it keeps a record of your working schedule, and it highlights if there's something not quite right. If you're having to stay 3 hours late every single day, that's not good for you, and that means that something's, you know, up with the team as well, or with the working environment. It might mean that they need to bring in more support. So it is a really good way. I might do like a separate thing just going into the details of it, and don't be put off and buy it as well. Everybody has a different login, but there's a website where you do it, and it is really simple once you get the hang of it, and really it will be helpful, if not for you on your rotation, for those coming after you, to make necessary changes to make a good working environment. Number 4, keep up to date. And by that I mean with your e-portfolio. Now we use Horace in the UK, and it's basically a way that you can log your competencies and keep a track of your learning and all that you've achieved throughout your foundation year 1, and then you have to go through an ARCP at the end of the year, which basically shows and proves to the GMC that you do have what it takes to then proceed to your second year of working and training as a foundation year doctor. And just with any e-learning that's coming up, because you don't want to leave it all to the end of the year, which, you know, some of us might have done. So I'm talking from experience. Do it. Do it as you go along, because it really, really will help to not make things stressful when the time comes to have your ARCP. And lastly, number 5, take care of yourself. You will be working long hours, you're going to be looking after people, you're doing work that can be physically, mentally and emotionally draining, but we do it for a reason. We do it because we love it, and because, you know, it is a privilege to get to do what we do, but that doesn't mean that we should burn out because of it. Doctors who take care of themselves are better positioned to take care of other people well. So take time out for yourself, go get a massage, do the things you like, have interests outside of work, so that it's not just work focus, because that as well is not the healthiest thing, you know. Do the things that you loved. If you played a sport before, keep playing that sport. It might be harder to do it, but you can find a way to work it around your schedule, and to be able to keep enjoying those things that you used to. Get yourselves around a good team of fellow doctors who will be there to support you and talk you through when you have those tough days. And just, yeah, make sure you've got a good support network around you. Do the things you love. Travel as well. Plan your annual leave so that you can take some time away and still have a life and still have a fulfilling life alongside, you know, the amazing and challenging work that we do get to do. Yes, foundation year 1 can be tough, and it's been a crazy, challenging but enjoyable year, and I'm still glad to be doing what I'm doing. You may have heard horror stories, or you may have heard something completely different. Some people might have loved it, but I just want to sort of encourage you that it will be a year of growth, and it will be a year that brings tough times as well. There might be tears, but there will be lots of laughter as well. So it is something to look forward to. So don't be scared. Just enjoy that new feeling of being a new doctor, and it's just a part of your medical journey that you will always remember. So I hope these tips have been helpful. Didn't want to make it too long, just wanted something short and sweet. And yeah, I will try to make videos, but I don't want to make promises I can't keep. I hope you found these tips helpful, and all the best as you start your first year of working as a doctor. God bless.